All right, greetings for the record. So we are going to try our hands on with HackerRank skill certifications. So first thing first, let's do this Java basic skill certification test. I think it is 1 hour. It said, yeah, here we go, 1 hour time test. If we wrap it up in less than an hour, we can as well take our chances with something else. So let's actually start. I will give you guys the opportunity to answer the questions, even though this is going to go on my, well, this is not my main account anyway. So, but then you guys will be able to take this on your own and go from there. First name, Shanji, doesn't matter, United States, Texas. This is not my main account anyway, is it? It doesn't matter. Let me see, give me 1 second. Let's check if this is my main account. No, it's not my main account. What is my email here? I already have these. Interesting. Yeah, don't worry. Okay, cool. Let's go. Shanji, United States, phone number. You need a phone number. 645-5533. I am a professional with 10 plus years of experience. What professional? Yeah, professional. Headline. What software engineer? Google software development engineer in test. LinkedIn resume, don't worry about that. Are you legal authorized to work? Yes. So what they are doing here is they're basically capturing your information for possible sharing with the employers. And there are employers who are looking into people's HackerRank profiles and reaching out to them. Okay, I'm using this for my backup account, so please use this. If you're gonna do this, add your correct information for your main account. Okay, so let's proceed. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's asking if the name is right. Okay, cool. We did the review, skill certification test. Make sure you're in quiet environment with a stable internet connection and limited distractions. Okay, guys, don't distract me. Take test. Instructions. This is a time test. Please make sure you're not interrupted during the test, as the timer cannot be paused once started. Ensure that you have a stable internet connection. We can take a sample test for a couple of minutes. Do you want to do that, or should we dive in right into the hardcore? Sample? Yes, no? Or do you try? Yeah, okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this is easy. Are you an expert on data structures? Solve. Which one of the following data structures can erase from its beginning or its end in 0, 01 time? You guys would not know this, but which data structure do you guys remember that will erase from the beginning or the end? Something that will not erase from the middle. Do you guys remember vector? Deck, stack. To be honest, I remember stack. Stack is the old array list. Or no, vector was the old array list. Deck, I believe, is first in, last out. Stack is last in, first out. Something like that. Let's try vector. Do you guys have any other ideas? Or Googling skills?
No, we don't know what's that even.
Okay, let's try. Continue. Let's see if it's going to work. Was that right? No. All right, so this one, you guys need to help me. FizzBuzz. This is your question. Given a number n for each integer I in the range from 1 to n inclusive, meaning n is going to be inclusive, print one value per line as follows. If I is a multiple of both 3 and 5, print FizzBuzz. If I is a multiple of 3 but not 5, print Fizz. If I is a multiple of 5 but not 3, print Buzz. If I is not multiple of 3 or 5, print the value of I. This is an interview question for certain teams in FINRA. Okay, you will be amazed. It's a simple question. It's going to require a simple answer, but it's an interview question. And some people cannot solve this. Function description. Complete a function FizzBuzz in the editor below. FizzBuzz has the following parameters. Int n. So this is the FizzBuzz function. This is the one we're going to complete, meaning we're going to write the code in here. What is this solution? Oh yeah, they're going to test this. They have a public class which will test the FizzBuzz, okay, after we complete it. Now, FizzBuzz has the following parameters. Int n is the upper limit of values to test inclusive. So if we have, what does that mean? If we add 3 here, what's going to happen? Do you guys understand the question, or do you need more explanation of what's going on? If we add 3 in n, what's going to happen?
Three and n.
Instead of n, if we're going to call this method passing in 3, what will happen?
Okay. Does it say like it has to be divisible to 3 and 5, or what it says?
No, you can pass any integer. It is an integer. And what you're going to do, this is the idea. You're going to go from, okay, let me start drawing. So what's going to happen is, where is my pen? Here we go. So you're going to start from 1, right? From 1 to n. So if I pass n as if n is equal to 3, which numbers am I going to go through?
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, exactly. That's where the inclusive thing is important, right? Here they have a couple times said that this is inclusive. Okay, so if I pass, if n is equal to, let's say, 5, what am I going to go?
From 1 to 5.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I encounter 1, what am I going to print?
Whereas, do we have to?
What am I going to print if I encounter 5? I'm sorry, if I encounter 1.
Nothing, right?
No, I'm going to print just the I, you see? It says, if I is not a multiple of 3 or 5, print the value of I. Meaning, if I encounter 1, I'm going to print 1. If I encounter 2, what am I going to print?
2.
Yeah. If I encounter 3, what am I going to print?
Fizz? I guess fizz, right?
Yes, yes, fizz. If I encounter 4, what am I going to print?
4.
4. And 5?
Was.
Plus. Okay. So this is what you're going to do in the interview. First, you ask the questions and write simple test cases. Okay. Now, if you look into here, what they have done is they have given an example saying that if the standard input is 15, meaning n is going to become 15, this is what your output is going to look like. 1, 2, fizz, 4, buzz, fizz, 7, 8, fizz, buzz, 11, fizz, 13, 14, fizz, buzz. So meaning 15 is divisible both by 3 and 5, right? So that's why you're going to print fizz, buzz. But 3 is divisible by 3, so it is fizz. 5 is divisible by 5, it is buzz. 6 is divisible by 3, it is fizz. 9 is divisible by 3, it is fizz. 10 is divisible by 5, it is buzz, and so on. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now questions. How do we start? Now, what's your pseudocode? So what's going to be your pseudocode? And the beauty is the pseudocode is here. They're saying that if divisible both divisible both by 3 and 5 is pass. If divisible by 3 is, if divisible by 5 pass, else otherwise just the number. Does it make sense?
Yes.
How do we code this?
So if n modulus 3 and if n modulus 5, if n modulus 3 equals to 0, if n modulus 5 equals to 0, return FizzBuzz.
Let's print.
Or print, yeah, it's a void. So print FizzBuzz.
Okay. Print ln is important because this is printing underneath each other. All right. Now, what else? Next.
Next is if n modulus 3 is equal 0, and we should also consider 5 not being equal to 0. So n modulus 5 is not equal to 0. System out, print fizz.
Okay, I like it. Next.
Same thing, n modulus 5 equals to 0.
Modulus 3 is not equal to 0.
Yes.
And where is my and n modulus 5 is equal to 0. Then we're gonna print
Bus.
pass. All right. What about this?
If n modulus 3 is not equal to 0, and n modulus 5 is not equal to 0, print n.
Good. You wanna give it a try?
Yes.
Let's run code. Standard input 15. Expected our output is FizzBuzz. Expected output is this. This is our output. Why is it not matching the expected output?
So we made a mistake.
So yeah, we should print 1, 2, 3 fizz, 4 buzz and stuff like that, but we are printing just FizzBuzz. So basically we are printing this. They are passing in 15. The test is n is equal to 15. Our expected output, look at here, expected output is, expected output is this, right? We expect this, right? Because we said if it is 1, we should print 1. If it is 2, we should print 2. If it is 3, we should print fizz. If it is 4, we should print 4. But we should print all the numbers from 1 to the number that we are given. So we should not just print FizzBuzz. We should print all this.
So is this about that?
No, this is about when they're giving us 15, we are printing just this one. We should print 1, we should print 2, we should print 3, we should print 4, all of them. You see, I said if n is equal to 5, we should print 1, 2, fizz, 4, buzz. What are we missing? Inputs. Farid, do you see what we are missing? Yes, no, maybe. So right now we are, again, guys, help me here. Right now we are just printing for 15. But we are supposed to print for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How will we do that?
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
So how do you do
Oh,
that?
we have to make n not only 15. We have to, like, it's supposed to be from 1 to 15.
Okay.
So now we can make it.
How?
So int n is 15. Can we write loop?
Yes, you have to, not can, but you should. What kind of loop?
Just for loop.
Okay, for what?
For int I
Mm-hmm.
is equal to 0,
Mm-hmm.
and I is greater equal to n. I mean
Greater?
less.
Oh,
Less.
okay. Less than equal to n. Okay.
Incrementing I.
I plus plus. Yeah. So what is gonna be inside this loop?
You can put all. No, okay. Should we put all of them inside the loop?
Yeah. Yeah, we should. So all these things are gonna be inside this loop. This loop is gonna run from 0 to 15. Right? Okay. And every time it's gonna run, it's gonna check for these things. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's run. Ooh, now we have. This is why Finra still asks this question. Now we have FizzBuzz, 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 FizzBuzz 16 times. Why?
Because I should be equal to 1.
Okay, I should be equal to 1. Let me run this. That's good. When you do I equal to 1, it will start from 1 and it will go 15 times. You solved that issue. What about FizzBuzz? Why is it printing FizzBuzz? Every single time. What is this? Someone? Oh, this test is being monitored. Okay. So what's happening? What are we, in these if statements, what are we checking? Come on, think quickly. What are you checking in these if statements?
We're checking if the modulus 3 is equal to 0, or modulus 5 is equal to 0.
What modulus 5?
N modulus.
N modulus 5, right. N is coming from the user. User has passed them 15. In each iteration, does N change?
Yes.
Does it? Where do you change N in each in each time this loop runs? This loop is going to run 15 times,
No,
right?
we are not changing n.
You see? So you're not changing N. You are changing I. But you are not using I anywhere. You are using I only for the purpose of going from saying that iterate. Okay? Now, what can you do?
N equals to I.
N equals to N equals to I. If you do that, where do you want to do that? N equals to I.
And under the for loop.
Like this, N equals to I.
Yeah.
Then what will happen if you do this?
As long as I keep, increasing, N is gonna be increasing too. Oh.
Okay. So why is it just printing 1? You're digging yourself a bigger hole. Why is it just printing 1 this time? What happened? Read the code from top to bottom. What happened? Can you tell me why it is just printing 1?
Yeah, because I is 1. I starts from 1. And
Yeah,
that's
exactly. I starts from 1. I is less than equal to 15. Yeah, because n is 15 this time. That's perfectly fine. I plus plus. The next line you're saying that n, which was 15 before, is now 1. That's it. It's going to come in here, go to this if statement, and it's going to print that. Next time, n is 1 now, right? Is
Yeah.
I, which is now 2, less than or equal to 1? No, it's going to stop. All right? It's a very simple question, but very tough, you see? The easy solution is just do this. You are updating I every single time. Check for the value of I. Why are you complicating your life? You keep whatever the user has passed the way it is. Don't number one rule when developing methods, which you don't know what's going to happen, is try to keep whatever the user has passed in the way it is. If you have a return, especially if you have like a void type, if you have a return type, if you have to return the different form of n at the end, return it, but keep the original n somewhere here. You could have said, oh, yeah, don't worry about it. Okay. So use n as a reference that you're going to loop until 3. You're going to loop until 5. You're going to loop until 15. N is your reference. Don't touch it. The variable is I now because it's going to start from 1, go to the n. If you run this, it's going to pass now. Your output, expected output. So this is good. Now, before we run all the tests and submit, do you like this code or do you think it can be improved?
But I'm sure it can be improved.
why not?
Yes. How?
I'm thinking instead of like saying I modules 3, like first line, we can use just 15, right?
Perfect.
I modules to
That's
15.
Yeah, that's one. I like that. Good. It's not going to change. Every time you do that, run the code, check for the behavior. Okay? The behavior is the same. Oh, okay. Something is wrong.
No,
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, 15. My bad. That's my bad. This is my bad. I accept. 0. Yeah. You see, even I can make a mistake. So that's why every time you make a change to the code, you need to run your tests. Yeah, looks good. Okay, good. That's one improvement. Thank you very much. What else? What else can you improve?
We can do else maybe for the last if statement.
Like this, else?
Else and delete all that.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's run. All right. What is this? Oh, look at it. What happened? 1, 2, fizz, 3, 4. Why is it printing 3 again?
Yeah, I think
Read the
we
code
should.
from up to down. Why is it printing 3 again? Let's say I is 3, right? What's happening here? If block.
Check.
Okay, is it gonna work? Run? Not run?
First if it's gonna skip.
Okay, what about this?
Second one, if first side it's gonna be true.
Yes.
Second side is false.
Why? Is 3 divisible by 5?
Oh no, there is no. Actually, it's gonna work. Yeah, it's gonna fit.
Okay. So this is gonna print, okay? Right, good. This is an independent if statement, this will run. What about this if-else block? You realize that this is now not independent if, and this is a not independent else. Else is never independent. What about this if-else block? What will happen here?
That's why it's printing.
What's happening here? Is 3 divisible by 3 not equal to 0?
No.
No, false. So what that means is this if part of this if-else block is going to be false. And what's going to happen? Else is going to run.
Yeah.
That's why you are going to first time correctly print out fizz, but the next time this if-else block is going to mess things up and print 3. How are you going to fix that?
And somehow we have to make it independent.
Independent, or maybe you can create more dependencies. So let me ask you this. If something is not divisible by 15, could it be divisible by 3 only, and could it be divisible by 5 only?
No.
Why not? So 10 is not divisible by 15. It is still divisible by 5, isn't it?
Yes.
So how can we build that relationship instead of having individual if statements, which will work? Why don't, and each time if statement will run separately, why don't we just create one big if else if branching? Look at what I'm going to do. Else if. So if I is divisible by 15, just print FizzBuzz. Otherwise, if I is divisible by 3, just print fizz. Otherwise, if I is divisible by 5, just print buzz. If none of these are true, in all the other cases, print the I. Run code. There you go. 1, 2, fizz, 4, buzz, fizz, 7, 8, fizz, buzz, 11, fizz, 13, 14, fizz, buzz. You started great. You started from individual if blocks. But if those ifs are related to each other, right? Then create if-else if branch. So in one iteration, I is always going to be one number, right? And you're going to take that one value, check it against different conditions. Why are you checking those conditions separately? What's the point? There is no point. Just check for them all at the same time. Okay? Do you want to see how you can even further improve this?
Sure.
Okay. System out println. Open your println. I divisible 15? Question mark. If the answer is yes, FizzBuzz. If the answer is no, let's put it here. Is I divisible by 3? Oh, well, divisible like this, right? Is equal to 0. This is what we mean by divisible, right? If I divisible by 3, question mark, fizz. Otherwise, is I divisible by 5? Question mark, buzz. Otherwise, I. Comment this out. Do you think this is going to work? Yeah, you see? Let's run. 1, 2, fizz, 4, buzz, fizz, 7, 8, fizz, buzz, 11, fizz, 13, 14, fizz, buzz. Great start. Start from if statements, put them together. If you can write ternary, write a ternary like this, single line, done. Don't forget, you are iterating from 1 till 15. You have to have your iteration. This is all part of the iteration. Okay? Don't forget, I is the changing variable, not n. So consider for I. And don't forget, if you have multiple if relationships, which can be dependent on each other, create that dependency. It's better because right now, previously, when we had 4 if statements, every single time the code would go through all of them. I is 1. Is it divisible by 15? No. Is it divisible by 3? No. Is it divisible by 5? No. Is it divisible not by 3 and not by 5? Yes, print that. Redundant. Look at this. If else if, done. And if you create this kind of if else if you have time, you want to surprise the interviewers, here you go. And by the way, I am yet to see someone write this answer like this in FINRA interviews. And usually people coming to FINRA interviews are tough people, right? So I haven't seen anyone write like this. I've seen if conditions, multiple if conditions. I've seen if else ifs, but I haven't seen this. Okay. Now the next thing is run tests. It's going to run all the tests. If you have a lot of if statements, some of them might fail. All of them have passed. Submit. You're good to go. Oh, let's do submit. I don't know what the first answer was. I believe, yeah, let's do that. Did we pass that test? I don't know if we passed it or not. It's not going to show us. But anyway, let's continue. Any questions about that? FizzBuzz. And guess where that FizzBuzz question is? Is it here? That yeah, fizz string. There you go. Now this is saying fig dip tip, something like that. This FizzBuzz is very popular question. FizzBuzz code. This FizzBuzz is a very popular question. Please make sure you go through these coding bats. Yeah, put it all together, FizzBuzz. Here we go. You see? That's why we kept repeating. We're still repeating. Do coding bat. Do coding bat. Please do coding bat. Okay? All right, so let's take the test. I agree to not copy any source code. I agree to HackerRank terms. Let's see what we're going to get in 60 minutes. Java braces. Okay, let's solve this. It's a coding question. Given a list of strings of bracket characters, the string brackets is balanced under the following condition. It is the empty string. If strings A and B are balanced, then AB is balanced. What? If strings A and B are balanced, AB is balanced. If string A is balanced, then A and A are balanced. Oh, okay. Write a class that determines whether the brackets in each string are balanced and returns true if the string is balanced or false if it is not. Sample. S is equal to this, this, and this. They all look balanced to me. S0. Oh, it's giving you an array. Is that right? S0, meaning this guy, exhibits condition 2 above. This and this are balanced, so this is balanced. Okay, good. This is going to return true. S1, which is this guy, exhibits condition 3 above, like this. This is balanced, so this is also balanced, return true. S2, which is this guy, exhibits condition 3 above. Don't worry about those words. So they look balanced, right? Let's look at another example. Is this balanced? Yes, no, maybe. Are you guys with me? Is it too small?
No, it's not balanced.
Okay, it's not balanced. What about this one?
Same.
This is not. This is not. Okay. Function description. The provided code contains the declaration for a class named solution, a main method that does the following: creates a parser object, reads an unknown number of strings from standard n, passes each string as an argument to the parser object's isBalanced method, and prints the value returned to the method on the new line. Basically, it's going to pass, we're going to get different s's here as our parameters, and we're going to basically need to return if they are balanced or not. IsBalanced has the following parameters. It returns string, a string that denotes whether the string is balanced. True if the string is balanced, or false if it is not. So this is not a Boolean method, you see. I don't know why they have done it as such. Probably they're checking for string value. So if we see something is balanced, we're going to have to return true as a string. If we see something is not balanced, we're going to have to return false as a string. Okay. So standard input this. Oh, yeah, this is different standard inputs. We need to print out true, true, and false. Because this is true, this is true, this is false. Explanation, yeah, don't worry about the explanation. We solved this in the class once. I don't know if you guys remember it or not, but let me ask you quick questions and you respond me quickly. Why is this complaining? Before we start. You're going to make me run out of time, aren't you? Why is this complaining?
Because it doesn't have return type.
Please tell me that. Why are you making me run out of time? What are we doing? If it is an object, we immediately return null, so we don't have to get distracted by that. But we're going to come back to that. So there are a few ways of solving this. One of the ways is, let me see, what is one way to solve? So we are assuming the following types of parentheses. We have open parentheses and close parentheses. We have curly open, curly close. What else do we have in the examples? Is that it? Just two of them? Yeah, just two of them. Okay, cool. One easy solution is we create a simple string. We say that if you see, so let's say we create a simple string, right? Let's say we have a dummy string. It is empty. It has nothing in it, right? So we're going to call it a return string, right? It's going to be empty. If we see open curly braces, we add it there. Open parentheses, we add it there. If the next character is closing parentheses, what do we do? What do we do? Help me. We delete both of them. If the opening parentheses is, if the next character is opening curly braces, and the character after that is closing curly braces, they balance each other out, meaning we can delete them. Where did you go? Here we go. And the next case is if we have open parentheses, but then we have closing curly braces, it means we're going to return false. If at the end we have anything remaining inside, we are going to return false. If at the end the return str is clean, we're going to return true. Does that make sense? Yes, no, maybe? Or do you want to see in the practice? Let's put it into practice before our time runs out, and we'll look at the other questions. Again, this question is in the coding bat. Please look into that. So string return str is equal to empty string. Okay? For int I is equal to 0. I less than s dot length. Actually, I don't like calling it s. Let's call it input str. right? I is less than input str dot linked I plus plus. So what we're going to do here is this loop is going to help us go from the beginning of the input string to the end. And don't forget right away, if you have return string that you have created, instead of returning null, we're going to return this dot is empty. Oh, no, we're going to return that. No, we're going to return not that. We're going to say return if return string is empty, because we said that we expect it to be empty at the end. If return string is going to be empty, we're going to return true. Otherwise, else, you're going to return false. So now we're going to remove this. Now, look at what's happening. First, we need to say character, current character is equal to input string character at I. Any questions about this? Okay. If current car is equal to opening braces, what do we do? What do we do?
We are checking next.
No,
right?
no. If it is open, we're just adding it to the
Yeah.
plus equal to current car. However, it is the other, right? We are going to say if return str is not empty, right? There is something in it. But actually, let's do this. If you see closing bracket, closing parenthesis, and the return string is empty, what is wrong? What's happening?
If we see closing one,
Yeah, and the return string is empty.
it means parenthesis order is wrong.
Yeah. Can we simply say return false?
Yeah.
You see? What about it is empty or return string dot substring, actually no, character at return strings linked -1 is not equal to this. What can we do? Can we also return false?
Yes.
Okay. Else, we're going to say return str is equal to return str dot substring from 0 all the way to return str dot linked -2. Is it linked -2 or linked -1? Linked -1 is going to be the last one, linked -2. Okay, good. Does this make sense? Yes, no, maybe.
You said else return str substring from 0 to. Okay. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So let's say return str was something like this, and this, right? So what we're gonna do is now, we saw this character, right? We saw this guy. What we're gonna do is we're gonna want to subtract this one out. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna say, starting from 0, by the way, that's a good question. We need to visualize. I believe this might be wrong. So the return string now is equal to from 0 all the way to 2 minus 2, 0. That's bad. This should be 1. So right. So whatever the inside of the return str is, the last character, we're gonna drop it, because the last character should be the opening parentheses, right? And we're gonna just clean it out. Does it make sense? If the string is empty, we're gonna return false. If the string has just this, we're gonna return false. Okay? But in the cases if string has the last character as this, opening parentheses, we're gonna remove this character. Okay? So let me delete these things. And I made a mistake. Thank you very much for asking, because it made me write it and realize that substring -1. Length 2 minus 1 is 1. So from 0 to 1 is going to be the first one. Yeah, good. Now look at what I'm going to do. I'm just going to technically copy and paste this part. But in this case, I'm going to say curly brace instead of opening character, or simple parentheses. I think this is done. So basically, we are checking for parentheses. First if statement is going to check for open parentheses. It's going to say that, is it open parentheses? Yes, then don't worry about it, just add it, right? Add it. Next is going to check the next. So we're going to wrap up with this iteration, because this is if else branch. So we're going to close this iteration. Am I missing something here? This is that, this is that, this is that. Yeah, this is that. Okay. So I'm missing one more curly braces. This is this. Okay. All right. So far so good, right? If it is opening parentheses, we're just going to add it. If it is closing parentheses, we're going to see if the string is empty, meaning there is nothing in it. If there is nothing in it, why are you closing it? So this is false. Or if it is if it is closing parentheses and the last letter in that return str is not opening parentheses, we're going to say, okay, wrong. You're closing something like this, right? You are doing something. Didn't have that example, but anyway, yeah, you're trying to close before you opened, so that's false. But otherwise, we're simply going to subtract one last character, because that one last character is going to be open parentheses. The same thing happens to the curly braces. If it's opening curly brace, just add it. If it is closing curly brace, make sure you have opening curly brace before it. And if that's the case, then you're going to remove that opening curly braces before it. Once we're done with the loop, what we're going to do is we are going to, at the end, return, if we get to the end, meaning nowhere we had this bad issues, right? Let's say we got to the end, we're going to still want to see the final value inside the return string is clean, because if it is not clean, it means we have some opening parentheses left in there. Because every single time we have opening parentheses, we're adding them blindly, right? So we want to make sure there is no opening parentheses left. Okay, that's when we're going to check that and return accordingly. Run code for the first test. Let's see if it's going to work. True, true, false. Yeah, true, true, false. See, this false is coming from the last check. And run tests. All right, perfect. All works. Okay, test case 3. Look, they have this, they have this, they have this. You see, So our code is going to break here in this case. Our code is going to break here and here and here and here in these cases. Okay, see, false, 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 false. Questions? You can, of course, show off your ternary skills and improve this. As such, return is return string empty. Why are you not finding it? Empty. Yeah. Question mark. If yes, true. If no, false. Done. Instead of this if else statement, again, run your tests before submitting and submit. Okay, next question. Oh, all right. Let's see what's going on here. Define the following two classes to represent two-dimensional objects. Superclass shape. We're going to write classes now. I hope you guys remember. It should have two member variables, length and breadth of integer types, two argument constructor for length and breadth, which stores the arguments in their corresponding member values, a method area which prints the length and breadth of the shape, delimited by a space. Concrete class, rectangle, it should have two argument constructors for length and breadth, blah, blah, blah. It should forward those arguments to the superclass constructor, override the area method to print the area using the formula. Constraints, length is greater than 0, less than 1000, breadth is greater than 0, less than 1000. Sample test, sample input for custom testing, 4, 5, sample output 4, 5, 20. Sample class, sample input for custom testing 220 doesn't matter. What is this? Input for a single line of input consists of two space. Don't worry about this. So it is asking us to write two classes. Enter your code here, read input from standard input, print output to standard output. Where am I going to add the classes though? The following, so define the following two classes to represent two-dimensional objects. Shape. I don't understand how we are going to run this. Enter your code, read input from standard in, print output to standard out. Huh. Let me go back to the...
You can extend the...
I'm going to copy paste this one. Yeah, okay, this is scanner. I wanted to make sure we're reading from scanner. Let me copy paste this one. I don't want to write this. So come back. Okay, so we're going to add this here first. Scanner is equal to new scanner. I think we util is imported while in has next system out println. Don't worry about this. So we're going to print this later on. So you're saying, Vicky, I'm sorry?
There are arrows on the line 7 and 8.
This makes it hide and stuff. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to create two classes right in here. We can do that. This is called inner class. So this is public class called solution, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to create a shape class. And we're going to create a rectangle. I am not sure which extends shape. Usually we would have created different classes in different files, but I believe that's what they want to do. Okay. So what is shape going to have? Help me.
Two variables, integer.
Okay. Let's do int length, int breadth, right? And
two argument constructor for length and breadth. So
how do
one
how do I write that?
With shape, same name as shape. I mean, you can make it public shape.
I think I won't be able to because this is inner class, but it's okay. Let's keep it like this. Let's see what happens. Shape.
Parentheses. Inside of parentheses, it says pass two arguments. Length and breadth. So int length. What's breadth?
I think it's the depth or something like that, like how deep it is, how
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah, then we can say this. Yeah.
Length and this dot breadth is equal to breadth. Okay, cool. What else?
A method area which prints, and we're gonna have one method.
Area method, which prints the length and breadth of the shape delimited by a space. So, what am I missing in my method?
Return type.
Thank you very much. Exactly. So it's gonna just print system out, println, length and breadth of the shape delimited by space. So length plus space, yeah, plus breadth. Okay, cool, easy. Now, what about the concrete class rectangle? Why is it how implicit? Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. By the way, do you know why it is complaining?
Delimited by space. Delimited by space.
No.
Why it needs that kind of methods, right?
It's like this, delimited by space 4 space 5.
Okay, just for printing. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Delimited by space means separated by space. Okay.
All right. So class rectangle is default constructor. Oh, there's no default constructor. He cannot find default constructor. That's why.
Where?
In shape class.
Yes. So right now there is a hidden default constructor for rectangle, right? And rectangle extends shape. That default constructor, which is hidden in rectangle, is trying to find a default constructor in shape. It's not able to find it. You see? That's why we're gonna have to define rectangle constructor. We're gonna get there. And actually that's where we're gonna start. It says the rectangle should have 2R constructor for length and breadth. It should forward those constructors to a superclass constructor. Okay. Do you remember how we did that?
Did what? Exactly.
How can we forward this to the super constructor?
The super keyword.
Thank you very much. You guys remember. Thank you. Oops, why did you do that? Okay, here. Thank you. And it has area, which does what?
Just prints out length and breadth.
Yeah, but
oh no. This is using override area method to print area using the formula. Oh, okay, this time, yeah, we have to do times. Okay.
Yeah. Length times breadth. I think that's it for our classes. Now, go ahead.
Constraints part.
Constraints length is greater than, so this is their given constraint. So we don't have to worry about adding like getters and setters and stuff like that. And besides its inner class, we can't really do much of a getter and setter. Inner class means these two classes will not be visible outside this class. Okay. Constraint means don't worry about it. It's not going to be less than 0. It's not going to be more than 1,000. Don't worry about it. Okay. So now enter your code here. Read input from standard in. This is our input. Let us cut and put it here. Print output to standard out. Okay. So what am I gonna read? Sample input for custom testing. Input format. A single line of input consists of 2 space separated integers, length and breadth. Oh, okay. So what they're saying is, yeah, okay. So what they're saying is, for every line of input, what we are gonna get is something like this, 4 space 5. Okay. So what that means is, let's create our, okay. So what we will need to do is define file to dimension. It should have 2 member variables, a method area, blah, blah. Okay, I did that. Input format, a single line of input consists of two space separated integers, length and breadth. Okay. Sample input is going to be this. Sample output is going to be, this area followed by this area. Is that what they're asking for? I don't know. Let's do that. Let's try to do this. Let's first create our objects. Shape is equal to new shape. Okay, now we need to pass in, okay, length and that. Okay, let's not create it here. So what I'm thinking is, let's create input object, which is going to be string. Input string is equal to nothing. Here, input string is going to be equal to in dot next line, right? Okay. While in has next, we're going to need to do that. And then what do we need to do? We're going to create a shape object is equal to new shape. Now we need to divide input string. Let's do this. Int length is equal to input string dot substring 0 to 1, right? Because we're gonna need to capture. Oh, no. Oh, sorry. So if it is delimited by space, how can we capture these two numbers? You are going to be given something like this: 4 space 5 or 400 space 55. How can you capture that?
You mean we can ask twice, right?
Huh?
We can ask twice.
No, if you ask twice, you're going to get the different number, different line. So this is first line, or this is the first line. So you need to be able to capture 400 separately and 55 separately. If you have a string like this, how can you capture 400 and 55 separately?
A split?
Yeah. String array input r is equal to input string dot split by space. What? Split by space. Okay. This is your input array, but as a string input array. So your length is going to be your input array element at position 0, the first element, right? But you're going to need to pass it as an integer. So you're going to need to say integer dot value of that string. Does it make sense? Input array element at 1. Now you can create shape object is equal to new shape, which is length and breadth. And you can say shape dot area, right? And then you can say, what was the other object called? Rectangle. Rectangle is equal to new rectangle, length and breadth, rectangle area. I think this is what they're looking for. I'm not sure. Let's try. We should have tried in the middle somewhere, but it's okay. Let's try. Run code. Oh, perfect. Run tests. Yeah, there we go. Does it make sense? Yes, no, maybe?
Yes.
We created the classes that they said. We created the relationship between them. Again, this is redundant. There is no need to do that. You could have pulled this by, instead of doing this, just print statement and stuff like that. You could have done that, but we went by the rules. We went by the book. We created two classes. Our issue was with the input because, again, I brought an input from the other class. This is how they're importing it by simple scanner. I didn't know that, but anyway. So what we're doing is, as long as there is input coming in, we're capturing it, storing it as a string. Then what we know is this input string is going to be delimited by space. So since we have captured as a string, we need to now split it into array so that array is going to hold two values separated by space, right? First value is going to be our length, array element at 0. Second value is going to be our breadth, array element 1. Shape, now we are using the classes that we have created. Since we have created it, again, redundant, but we did. Since we have created it, let's just use it. We are taking this length and breadth, passing it into our shape constructor so that we can print the area of the shape. Then we are creating a rectangle. We're printing the area of a rectangle. This is printing out different value than this simply because it is overriding. Okay? Very good question. I like it. I like it. Okay. What is the output of the following Java code? I don't know how. Oh, we have 26 minutes left. Come on. Vámonos. What's the output of the following Java code? What is this? 0, 10. Is this going to work?
Integer I is equal to 0, 10. Jeez. It just says like when it's gonna print what's gonna be R.
Yeah, what is the output?
It cannot be this simple, right, Sean?
You never know. So is this gonna work? Yes or no?
0, 10.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 10. 10?
Yeah.
It's gonna be dropping 0, right?
Yeah, I think it's gonna work here. Why not? So let's look at public class test. It's all good. Public static void main string array args. It's all good. This is good. This is good. There is nothing missing. System out println I. System out println j. What do you think is gonna be output?
I mean, if it's not gonna be println, it looks like it's gonna be second answer. One
Yeah.
can, but I don't know what about ln.
Yeah, let's try this. I agree with you. I think it's not gonna be an issue. I have never done it before. You see, we always say in the beginning of our early classes, if you still remember, we said, make mistakes, try stuff. You haven't tried, we haven't tried, and I don't remember. I think it's gonna work. So let's move on. Will this compile? Interface sirippable. Oh my God. Void, no. Void get sugary. That's part of interface. Okay. Abstract class pancake implements sirippable, and there is no class. There is nothing in the class code, right? So are we good so far? Do you think it's gonna work so far or no?
Okay. I don't think it's gonna work. I mean,
Why not?
that part is good. Yeah, abstract class pancake implements sirippable is good too. But
Okay.
look at
Yeah. What about
class,
this?
look at public void. How they put like
Public
there's no
void sugary. There is nothing. It means that don't worry about it. This is not a problem. It means we wrote some code and that's it. Don't worry about it. But what is this? Does this look good?
public void get sugar. Why not? I mean, it's
Okay.
public void get sugar.
Okay, good. It implements pancake. Why are we doing get sugary here?
It takes from interface.
Yes. This one comes in here, right? Now pancake has get sugary inside, right? And pancake is a abstract, so it means I don't have to implement it by, but whoever extends me has to implement it. Now, Do you see an issue here? I think I caught an issue here. There is an issue here. Read it. Read the line 6.
Blueberry pancake implements to pancake. There's pancake. Pancake.
Let me point out. What is pancake?
Pancake is abstract.
Abstract what?
Class.
Abstract.
Extent. We should
Yes.
write extent. Yeah.
Exactly. That's how they wanted to catch you. They couldn't because I caught it. I would have missed that too. I would have said compiles, but you have to be careful. Blueberry pancake is a class. It is extending a class, which is pancake. It's not implementing it. That's why it's going to fail in line 6. You see? Yeah, it is not always as simple. All right. Static code analysis. What will the output be? What is this?
You mean try and catch block?
Yeah. Okay. So blah blah blah. Okay. Yeah. Let's start. It's a try and catch block, right? You see try, curly braces, and you see catch. It is catching something, and then curly braces. So the structure is good. We have try, you have catch, with the exception, and all good. Now let's look inside. What do you have here?
What if,
Does this work?
it passed it as string and it says float. It's not gonna work. I mean,
It's not.
it's gonna throw exception.
It's gonna throw exception, right? Where is that exception gonna go?
It's gonna go to catch block.
Okay, it's gonna go to catch block. What's happening in the catch block?
Number format exception.
Well, okay, so it is. Let's say this is number format exception. I believe it is number format exception. I don't remember, but let's say it catches number format exception. So what's gonna happen?
It's gonna print out bad number.
Exactly. That's what I think as well. But let's go back and analyze. Int x is equal to f1 int value. I don't know if that works. Byte b is equal to byte value. Double b is equal to f1 double value. System out print on. Yeah. So if this works, this won't work. This won't work. This one, I think one of them will work. So it's definitely gonna come to this catch block. And inside catch block, we have print statement saying bad number. So let's look at the answers. Let me clean this. It says compilation fails on line 9. Why? Then it will not fail. It is catching it, right? Compilation fails on line 11. It's a print statement. It's going to print bad number, I believe. Okay. Next. Which of the following is not a correct way of commenting? All right, you guys should be able to answer this. Is this good?
I mean, yeah, except that stars, like 4 stars.
Yeah. So it starts from here, it ends here. What is inside? We don't care, right? Okay. Now, is this good? The second one?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. It starts from here. It will try to understand and go all the way up here. Something tells me it's not good, but it should work. It should work, you know, because I see something else. I see some definite failure. What about this one? Is this good?
Yes.
Starts from here. Does this end here? Oh, this is tricky. You know why this is tricky? Because I'm worried about this guy. because I think I shouldn't, because this guy can uncomment this one. So it means it can remain open, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't know. So basically, we're stuck with this one and this one. What about this one? This is going to work. It doesn't matter, right? Because as soon as you have this, everything else is a comment after it. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think second one.
Yeah, I'm looking back and I think the second one is incorrect. Yes, because what will happen is this thing will close this comment, because this is inside. It's going to be ignored. This will close this one, and this will be stuck. You see, this will be stuck. So let's try this one. You all say 2, or you all say 3, or what do you say? Let's try. It's okay. Well, if it fails, Sean is gonna fail. Sean is a complete failure. Let's submit and let's hope we're gonna get 6 out of 6. You want to put some bets? You want to put your money where your mouth is? Put some bets. Who says how many of them we're getting? I say we're gonna get all 6. What do you guys say?
5.
5. What about you guys? If you're ready, what do you guys say? Are we gonna get 6? Are we gonna get 2? Are we gonna get 0? Where is the
6.
confidence? Huh?
Let's say 6.
6, of course, of course. Always say 6. Yes, close this test. Test submitted successfully. Okay. HackerRank has issued a test. If you'd like confirm, contact them. Please go to invitation email you received. Select reply all. How was your work experience? I liked it. What did you like? Code autocomplete. User experience questions were good. Submit feedback. What about? We are evaluating your submitted code. This might take up to 30 minutes. We'll send you an email when the results are ready. Okay, cool. So let's go back to certify. What you guys are gonna do, you guys are gonna go and create your own HackerRank, and you're gonna go and do Java Basic. I assume they're gonna give you different questions. Okay, but go do Java Basic, go do problem solving basic, SQL basic. Then I believe after you do the basics, you can get tougher ones. Something like that. I'm not sure. And what else you need to do is prepare and start doing Java questions and SQL questions. You see how fun it is? You see how many things you tend to forget? And again, before getting here, please do coding bat. If you do coding bat, all of this will become relatively easy. Now, let me check my email account, because I think this is going to go to that other email of mine. Nothing came. All right. So I'll let you guys know what the results are. I will be honest. I will just forward the email to you guys. But I think we did well. We should be able to get all 6. But they might be analyzing the how we responded and stuff. I hope they don't say anything about us using a Zoom and us using the drawing tool, but we'll see. All right, any questions, comments?
Thank you, Shahin.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm gonna stop the recording. It was fun, and I even remembered a few things that I haven't used for a while. Let's keep doing this. Thank you.
Thank you, Shahin. Thank you, guys. Have